Hello, friends. Welcome to this short presentation on D365 F&O organization hierarchy. The objective of this presentation is to give a brief introduction before setting up F&O from scratch. I'm planning to create videos to show F&O setup from scratch, especially starting with a new legal entity. So before doing that, I thought I'd like to share how F&O handles organization hierarchy in the application. Now, as you see here, this slide shows that the organization's type supported in F&O application. As we all know that F&O is an advanced ERP application that supports multiple legal entities and many more advanced features. So the first step to implement application in an organization, F&O application in an organization, is to create a legal entity or a company in the application. So F&O has two types of organization. One is the legal entity and the other one is the operating unit. So now, why do we need a legal entity? We need a legal entity or a company in terms of F&O to start writing contracts, to start creating transactions, to start creating products, to start paying vendors, to start receiving customers' receipts into their banks, to create bank accounts, to create cash management processes, to file the tax, and to create the yearly reports. So that's the reason we need to have a company created in F&O application. So before we start doing any transaction, the first step that needs to be done in F&O is to create a legal entity. And that is a short procedure, but it carries a enormous importance. It is very, very critical that we decide how we want to set up the organization in F&O application so that our transactions become smoother, so that we don't revisit the organization hierarchy after we start creating transactions. So it's becoming very, very important to sit and discuss with the key stakeholders in our customer organization. When we start engaging with them, as a first step, what we need to do is we need to understand their business setup, their organization hierarchy, their operations, and their presence in various territories if it is a large enterprise, and their other subunits of the company. Now, this is where the subunits of the company come in. F&O supports a subunit as an operating unit in the application hierarchy. Now, an operating unit is nothing but an internal division within a parent group such as a company. F&O gives various types of operating unit such as business unit, department, cost centers, value stream, and a few more. I'm going to stop with a very simple use case here. So I'll just stop with these three critical operating units here. And this gives a clear understanding of our customer's organization before we start creating the application setup. So in order to do that, what I want to share is, I want to share a simple use case for this setup. So let me show you the use case. So this is my use case. I'm going to create in my F&O application in my subsequent videos. Now, what I've done is I've created a business group called Automobile Business Group. The objective of this business group is to manufacture two-wheelers and cars and sell in all three locations. So what I've done is I've created three different companies, and in F&O parlance, it is a legal entity because they are present in different geographies. The first one is in India, the second is in the US, and the third is in the UK. Now, what I've done is I have different roles for each legal entity. My Indian legal entity is going to do the manufacturing, it's going to have the warehouse, and there is going to be a procurement department for items that need to be procured instead of manufacturing. And I'm going to have a production department, and I'm going to have a manufacturing operations cost center, to keep it short and simple. And in UK also, I'm going to set up a manufacturing business unit. I'm going to have departments under that. It's a procurement department, production department. Whereas in my US legal entity, I'm just going to have my sales operations. So I predominantly, what I want to do is I want to now do only the sales activity in US. There's no procurement, there is no production, and the cost centers are only the sales teams related expenses. So I'm going to have a cost center for sales and marketing. They'll be doing the promotion and sales for the cars that are being shipped from India and UK. And not only finished goods, but I'm going to also deal with spare parts for my automobile products. So this is my setup. So why am I discussing this here rather than getting into the application? So I just want to share here that whenever we start creating the first transaction in F&O, these entities or these attributes become a vital part of my every transaction. If I'm going to create an item, if I'm going to create a purchase order, or if I'm going to create a sales order, or if I'm going to create a inventory transaction, or if I'm going to create a production, or if I'm going to create a transportation order, or a transfer order, all these attributes become critical so that a legal entity or the parent group can track what these transactions and to which legal entity these transactions are mapped to. So let me show you a slide which will make it more simpler to understand where these operating units and values going to be occurring in F&O transactions. As you see here, this is my invoice which I created as part of my purchase order process. And this purchase order has got a value of 188,000. Now, at a very high level, if I want to see, hey, who is this person? Who is this now? Which department is dealing with this invoice? Which department has, or which business unit has raised this purchase order, and which department is paying this invoice? Now, this is where our operating unit and business unit comes into picture. And what F&O does is, based on my previous configurations, I will be giving a code for each of this business unit when I'm going to set up in my legal entity. Now, page of F&O. Once I do that, and when I publish that, then these values become available in my transaction screen. And here is what you look at. You will look at it, the department here as a 025, and you'll look at when you look up, you'll see the business unit as 001 here. Now, when I do the posting, my transaction gets registered along with the general ledger account. It also adds these attributes. We call it financial dimension here. I'm going to have a very simple setup where the financial dimension is going to have a business unit to the department. And of course, I'm going to include a cost center in my subsequent videos when I create transactions. But for now, I just want to relate to what I'm talking in my previous slides. Finally, when you end up doing transactions, you will use those values which you set up in your first step when you do the legal entity creation. I hope this makes clear. And as a next step, I would be showing my demo on the application, and I would like to do it in the next video. And thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Please give me a feedback on this presentation. And stay tuned to my next video. See you then. Bye.